Very good evening to our viewers. Thank you for joining us tonight on the evening review. My name is Taiwan Jabela. Tonight on the platform, we are joined by former Namibian Prime Minister Nahas Angula. He is also, of course, a liberation struggle icon in his own right, and he's here to talk to us about a variety of things, including the importance of the upcoming Heroes Day. Does it still carry value? Is it still worth celebrating, or have our heroes become villains? Thank you, Uncle, for making time. It's the first time this year that we're speaking to you, but it's always a pleasure. The day is coming next week to be celebrated in Katima Mulilo. There used to be a buzz in the 90s, all these years about Heroes Day. Do you still feel the same fire as far as this day is concerned?
Well, most of the people who were initially involved are no more, but that does not mean that their sacrifices have vanished.
Yeah.
And it is very symbolic that President Netumbo decided to have it in Katima. You know, after Muguru Wambashe battle, most of the battles were fought in that area in the 70s, leading to some citizens of the region leaving the country and coming into Zambia in the 70s. And I think it's very, very important that the citizens there should feel that their sacrifices were not in vain.
Yeah.
There have been a call by some of the local people there who live around the area called Singaramwe. That area, Singaramwe, is not far from Kongola. There was a paramilitary base there at a place called Kamenga.
For Swapo or for the South Africans?
No, for South Africans.
Yeah.
And that paramilitary base was attacked with heavy weapons by planned combatants.
Yeah.
And that turned the tide. South Africa used only to send the paramilitary police there to the border. Then South Africa realized that Swapo was serious. So that's how the South African army was introduced into to go to the borders because of that big battle of Kamenga. And the people in the area have been demanding that Kamenga be made a national shrine or something like that, which I think at least the place needs some recognition to recognize those. I think that battle was commanded by Commander Idua there. And it turned the tide of the war from a paramilitary operation to a full military operation.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's very good, Uncle Nahas, that you mentioned the prominent role that some of people living from that region have played, which brings me just immediately to think of you because heroes, you have your heroes, but then people say, okay, do you remain a hero for the remainder of your days, irrespective of what conduct you indulge in afterwards, or can you actually lose that status? Let's look at a person like Mishake Muyongo. Mishake Muyongo was a liberation fighter. He was he was a vice president of Swapo for some time. So how do you classify a man like that, ideally?
The story of Mr. Muyongo is a tragic story, so to say. I lived with him in Lusaka. He was the vice president of Swapo. And when we had a serious conflict within Swapo in 1975 there, he played a big role to save Swapo because most of the leaders were not in Lusaka. So he took the responsibility to make that Swapo is not destroyed. and convinced the Zambian government somehow to intervene and disarm those who were armed in urban areas, so the Swapo members. And that was a great role he played. We were there to support him. Some of us, I was just coming from, I was a school principal that time. But he roped us in, the late Kapuka Nawera, the Richard Kabajani. Then eventually the auto commission was put up to investigate what actually happened. Peningurira was there. He played that role. Then, well, political differences happen everywhere. He left Swapo, then he came back to join DTA. If you read his statement, the statement he made on behalf of DTA at the Constituent Assembly when we were about to draft the Constitution, he made a very strong statement saying that Namibia should be a unitary state, it should be a democratic state, and so on and so forth. A person making that kind of statement, you never expected him to promote secession. But eventually, his complex character took too much of him, and he decided that he wanted a secession.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that he's now living in Europe, old age, and it is not nice to have a citizen at that age in a foreign country, because he made wrong decisions.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but we have to recognize his contribution. But as I said, it's a tragic story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But beyond Muyongo, Uncle Nahas, do we then, is heroism for eternity, or can it actually get destroyed by future conduct of individuals? Even in Swapo itself, those that remain in Swapo today, if you were this liberation stalwart and then after independence, maybe you indulge yourself in corrupt practices and other unbecoming behavior, can you lose your status as a hero?
The reason why I'm using the word tragic is precisely because of that. You build up a reputation and you destroy it.
Yeah.
Once you destroy it, you destroyed it. Nobody will respect you. Nobody will continue to honor you, your contribution. We might recognize that contribution, but with a pinch of salt, so to say. Yeah, because history put you on a different plane.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
And you must have followed, of course. You are a well-read man. You follow news. You are a newsworm. You must have followed the discourse around Jesus Awala, also, who has been bestowed a state funeral, who has been bestowed a hero's status by the president. There are murmurs of discontent, people saying, oh no, this man did this during the Lubango days and whatnot, and therefore bestowing some of these things on him only hurts victims and whatnot. What has been your general take on that issue?
Well, Comrade Awala was acting under orders. He didn't start up he didn't appoint himself to that very difficult position. It was not a voluntary thing that I wanted to be the Swapo security or something like that. He was appointed by the Swapo leadership. So if you are blaming whatever happened today, blame the whole of Swapo, not one individual.
And Swapo at the time was under the command of President Nuyoma, who is one of your mentors, one of your foremost mentors. Do you link him to any, just the role of the president by extension, being the president of the movement at the time and these things happening? Again, I've said to many people that we don't know whether everybody who was subjected to that treatment was entirely innocent. There ought to have been spies somewhere, whether it was those in Lubango or elsewhere within the rank and file of the movement. But do you think that President Nyoma should have acted differently, or do you think under his command what happened was necessary at the time?
Well, the situation was more complicated than you think. I remember at one time, I think it was at the Central Committee at the Batela, somewhere in Angola there, a report came about the unearthing of spy networks within the ranks of Swapo. And the Central Committee deliberated on it and said, fine, if there is that's the case, those people should just be isolated from the general public. And
the suspected spies now?
The suspected spies, they should be isolated from the general public, but we should take care of them. We should not harm them. That was the resolution of the Central Committee. Obviously, many things happened. You had your Kasingas, you had your, you know, many things happened. The boas were vicious, your operation, rentier operation, what, people were dying. And you don't know exactly who was giving information to these boas and all that. So at one time, there was even a slogan that don't trust even your own shadow. Then you have young people entrusted with this kind of things, and they are operating by themselves. So it's very difficult to really say this one was a spy, this one was not a spy.
Yeah.
But when I was leader of the government since the parliament, I made the general statement there, saying that we say sorry to those who were caused in the crossfire. I made that general statement deliberate because every year somebody will move a motion in parliament to debate that issue. It was it was a tradition from the opposition to move that motion every time and then to embarrass Swapo and all that. So I made that statement. Then the issue went down a bit, but now I see some remnants of people who were known to have themselves worked for South Africa bring up this issue again. But my point here is this, that war by itself is a tragedy. Once you start a war, just know that things will happen, which will not be in your control. You can be a president of the party, but you will not be in every corner or whatever small base there. People talk about the dungeons. Dungeons. All of us lived in when you're in a war zone. You live in we used to call them dugouts. Because if you are bombed, at least you might survive. If you just put your tent there and you are bombed, you are gone. And those people, they were put there not as a punishment, but to protect them from bombings and other things.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, Spies, I think even from the very start of the liberation, of the armed liberation struggle, of the armed struggle, because there was, I think in Ongulumbashi, there were some sort of spying there. There's a guy called, I think, Castro or something that...
Yeah, Castro was a deputy commander of
Plan. Yeah.
So he was given a unit to come to Namibia here, but in Kavango there he was captured.
Oh.
Yeah. Then he was interrogated in Pretoria there, told the stories that we are working together with Nyoma, it's only you who are putting yourself in danger, blah, blah, blah. all sort of things. The boss can work on you. So he is the one who was helping the boss to discover where the Swapo base was. Yeah, then the boss, when they got some information, they decided that they were going to take tractors to Guru to construct the road. It was just a ruse. They just wanted to find out exactly where these people were. There was no road construction. So it's rumored that he himself participated in that battle. Yeah, but for sure he had something to do with the death of Commander Inyeko. Yeah.
No, but that is exactly the point I'm making, to say that from the very start of the struggle already, you had people like that. So to suggest somehow that...
Even during the political struggle, you have a very active person, just as we are blessing here in the country. The next time you hear this person has joined Bantustans. But he was a very active Swapo person. So it started a long time ago. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We go for a very short break and return with Uncle Nahas Angula. We continue our conversation with former Prime Minister Nahas Angula here on the show. So on the issue of Jesus Awala, do you then understand? I mean, you made a very good point to say that he was recruited in a movement and assigned certain duties, and that you can't absolve the movement and pile the blame on him. So against that background, do you then think that President Tumana Ndaitwa was correct in bestowing that state-funded funeral and the hero's status, even with the current moratorium on state-funded funerals?
Look, General Solomon Awala was the commander of Namibian Defense Force. He was already declared a hero. I don't know whether it's Velvici or something.
Yeah, by President Nyoma.
By President Nyoma.
I remember, yes.
Now you want to strip him simply because he's normal. I think the president is just fulfilling the decision taken a long time ago.
Just on that, maybe while I have you here, because nobody has really told us properly what his role, the heroic part of his role in the struggle was. Do you recall anything that you can tell us so that we just have a proper context why this man was a hero in his own right?
No, I lived with General Awara in Lusaka in early 70s. I think he was coming from training from North Korea or something. Then I left to go in the study at the University of Zambia. He went to the Eastern Front, Kaungamash area there. He was the deputy commander of plan there. Then the confusion of 75 came when the many young people came, and they thought that it was a generational problem, and perhaps also ideological. So these young people wanted to overturn the leadership of Swapo. Yes, Awara was with them there. I understand that he was the first victim. They captured him, and I think I don't know exactly what happened, but he was better treated by those young people. And it was a very, very traumatic experience. As he was the commander, you don't do those kind of things when you are armed. So then, of course, the struggle developed. He went to, all of us went to Angola. Then he was there, given the responsibilities was given by the party. So he has survived many battles. Yeah, just like many other commanders.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you can't just become a NDF chief out of nowhere. All of us would have become NDF chiefs.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you must have carried some weight, really.
Yes, you must have carried some weight.
Yeah. Just diverting slightly from that, I mean, speaking, because I'm just remembering now that you're talking about NDF and all these things. You must have followed some of these things regarding the NAMCOR and August 26 and the ongoing arrests and hearings. I mean, what do you make of those things? The allegations that so much money belonging to state, including a 53 million that was paid for assets that never became NAMCOR's assets, and the money was never returned, and somehow everybody says, no, nobody should be held accountable. These arrests are just misplaced.
Well, let that story unfold before the courts. I really don't have any information. Because those things happened after I left the NDF. I mean, the Minister of Defense in 2015. That was a long time ago. In between, things happened. When I was there were some other problems of procurement, especially how to feed the soldiers. And I started a company there called August 26 Logistics. That was purely for that. I was saying, how can you just go to any company and say bring food to the soldiers? There must be a security system somewhere to vet who should bring food to the soldiers. That's why we started August 26 Logistics. Yeah, but that only dealt with rations. It never dealt with food or anything like that.
Yeah. This thing that is very worrisome. Maybe the principle of it is correct to say that there must be secrecy around operations of some of these entities because for security reasons. But there's a strong feeling that that principle is being taken advantage of, that people are looting behind the blanket of national security.
That can happen, but the ministry is supposed to have a proper internal mechanism of control. But it's a large ministry, you know. You have your textiles there, you don't know exactly what that guy is doing. You have your machine fabric there, you don't know exactly what he's doing. Then you have somebody who sources fuel, and it's a large system. But sometimes it's difficult to control. Yeah. So, but when I was there, we agreed with the general that he will give us people whom he think are trustworthy. Yeah. The system has to defend itself somehow, but that is not only in defense. It happened in fisheries, which looks like innocent thing, but people took advantage of the so-called government objectives. And they enrich themselves. Perhaps these other young people saw loopholes. But I know some of those characters. They were on the radar when I was at the Prime Minister's office there, some of them. People were saying, this person, the lifestyle But we never went around to find to do the lifestyle audit. So it's a general problem in the country that we seem to have lost ethical direction as a country.
Yeah.
Now, people are being driven by conspicuous consumption.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jambera is driving a Mercedes-Benz. Why should not I drive a Mercedes-Benz? This kind of thing. There seems to be no some kind of moral or ethical radar to guide people. That this thing does not belong to me, it belongs to the people.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So without that, people see one. It just requires one senior people to do something wrong
For others to follow.
for others to follow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But so because for me, Nahas, I find it scary that we can have corruption in security apparatuses, whether it's the police, but particularly the military of the country. And if we just say, oh no, we cannot audit, I mean, why don't you audit and keep that outcome as a state secret, at least before the consumption of the head of state, who's the commander in chief?
No, there must be oversight. There must be some oversight.
Yeah.
Independent oversight. Because if you give a ministry 6 billion, it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah. There must be some backstopping or some kind to make sure that that 6 billion serves the purpose it was given for. Yes.
Absolutely. In closing, former Prime Minister, what do you make of what picture is emerging in the country under the new leadership? Is it a continuation of the old, or do you see some shift towards a particular direction?
Well, it is really too early to judge. We are not even 6 months down the road.
Yeah.
These people are trying to find themselves on the ground. Of course, you have your Honorable Sampasa. He's ever in the newspaper. You have Honorable Nekundi. He's also somewhere there. You have Honorable Ithete. He's also visible. You have the Prime Minister is visible. The President is very visible. But others.
Yeah. It's very hard to tell what they're up to.
I think they are finding their feet on the ground.
Yeah.
I don't know whether, we used to have cabinet retreats.
Yeah.
If you are just put in a ministry on top of a bureaucracy, you have a lot of work to do to understand the laws, the regulations, and even the people, the dynamics of the ministry. Who works with whom, when, who, whatever.
Yeah.
So it takes some time. In fact, it's likely to take 12 months as you are reviewing the policies you found there and trying either to strengthen them or to bring something new in.
Yeah.
And they should also know that the budget they are implementing is a budget which was planned before they were sworn in.
Yeah.
They tinker it here, there, and there. That's why you see the Minister of Finance was in trouble. Yopan Panda was reading the budget, he was finding all sorts of things. So they are finding their feet on the ground. Yeah.
Minister Sankwasa has divided opinion. Some people saying that unorthodox approach is exactly what we needed, this disruptor, Trumpian kind of approach. Some saying he's completely out of order because he's with his pursuit of whatever he's pursuing, he's no longer paying attention to the rules and the regulations.
Well, I am not in a position to judge, but it's better to do things sometimes quietly.
Yeah.
Then you build the rapport. When you take a drastic action, it must be taken rare, not every day. So that people feel that why you took that action, it must have been considered properly.
Yeah.
But if every day you are stamped, you say something there, you are somewhere in a small town called Dondangwa or something, you say something there, why don't you study the situation there? They say, hey, mayors, I want to have a retreat with you.
Yeah.
Let us look at the laws governing your institutions. Are you really up to standard with these regulations and the laws and the regulations? Then you come also to know them.
Yeah.
They should not just see you when you come there, you are just coming to find faults.
Yeah.
Build also a rapport, build the camaraderie, to work together with people. People make mistakes, yes, they must be corrected.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Thank you, former Prime Minister. We
You're
really
welcome.
appreciate your time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, that is former Prime Minister Nahas Angula speaking to us about what it means to be a hero and what must happen to maintain that status, among other things that he told us tonight. Thank you for watching.